Imagine holding a coin that was created before the United States even officially started producing coins. A coin so rare that only a handful exist today, and each one is worth millions of dollars. Before we uncover this incredible story, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and comment below. Would you keep this coin safe or accidentally spend it? And if you think you've ever seen something like this, tell me in the comments. The 1792 Birch Cent is not just a coin. It is one of the earliest experimental coins ever made in American history. It represents the moment when the United States was just beginning to create its own identity, including its own currency. This coin is older than most official US coins and was created during a time when the country was still figuring out how its money system would work. The story begins in 1792, shortly after the United States passed the Coinage Act, which led to the creation of the United States Mint. At that time, the mint was still in its earliest stages, experimenting with designs, materials, and production methods. The Birch Cent was part of these early experiments, test coins created to evaluate how American currency should look and feel. The design of the coin is believed to be the work of Robert Birch. On the front side, the coin features a portrait of liberty with flowing hair, representing freedom and the new nation's spirit. Surrounding the design are inscriptions that emphasize liberty and independence. The reverse typically shows a simple wreath, symbolizing unity and growth. One of the most important factors that makes the 1792 Birch Cent so valuable is its rarity. Unlike regular coins that were produced in large numbers, this coin was never intended for circulation. It was part of a small experimental batch, and today only about 10 known examples are believed to exist. This extremely low survival rate makes it one of the rarest coins in the world. The historical significance of this coin is unmatched. It represents the very beginning of the US coinage system, even before mass production started. This coin is not just part of history, it is part of the foundation of American currency. It shows how the country experimented with designs and materials before deciding on official coinage. When it comes to condition, the Birch Cent presents an interesting case. Because these coins were experimental, they were not handled in the same way as circulating coins. Some examples have been preserved relatively well, while others show signs of age and handling. In rare coins, condition plays a huge role. Better preserved coins can be worth significantly more. However, due to the extreme rarity of this coin, even worn examples are incredibly valuable. The collector demand for the 1792 Birch Cent is extremely high. It is considered one of the most important coins in American numismatics. Museums, elite collectors, and historians all recognize its importance. Because so few exist, competition for ownership is intense whenever one becomes available. Another fascinating factor is the possibility of minting variations or experimental differences. Since these coins were part of early trials, slight variations in design, strike quality, or metal composition can exist. These differences can make certain examples even more valuable, as they provide insight into the early experimentation process. Authenticity is absolutely critical for a coin like this. Due to its extreme value, every known example has been carefully studied and documented. Experts analyze weight, design details, and historical records to confirm that a coin is genuine. Without proper authentication, even a convincing copy would have no real value. The metal composition of the Birch Cent is primarily copper, but because it was an experimental coin, variations may exist. While the metal itself has some intrinsic value, it is very small compared to the coin's overall worth. The real value lies in its history, rarity, and significance. Another key factor is provenance, or ownership history. Many of the known Birch Cents have passed through famous collections and auctions. A well-documented history adds credibility and increases value, as it proves the coin's authenticity and connects it to notable collectors over time. In terms of value, the 1792 Birch Cent has reached extraordinary levels. Some examples have sold for over $2 million, and its value continues to grow as collectors recognize its importance. It is not just a coin, it is a museum-level artifact. What truly makes this coin special is the combination of all these factors. It is incredibly rare, historically significant, and highly demanded. It represents a time when the United States was still defining itself, experimenting with ideas that would shape the future. The 1792 Birch Cent is more than just a piece of copper. It is a piece of the nation's origin story. It shows how a young country took its first steps toward creating a stable and recognizable currency system. In the end, this coin reminds us that value is not always about size or material. Sometimes the smallest objects carry the greatest stories. From a simple experimental coin to a multi-million-dollar treasure, the journey of the Birch Cent is proof that history, rarity, and human curiosity can turn anything into something extraordinary. So now tell me, if you had this coin in your hand, would you keep it safe forever, or would you ever risk losing it? Drop your answer in the comments.